Coach, so you guys led in the first half by 11 before kind of letting the Hawks back into the game. They tied it up before the end of the first half. What was the difference in the second half as you guys were able to build a much bigger lead?
Well, first of all, it's a really well-coached team. They've got the leading scorer in the country, and they got some other guys that really placed. So, I didn't think our lead was ever safe. We did basically played all 11 guys in the first half, and then the 11-point lead did go away. But we came back, and I think the second half was like a 65 to a 30 difference. So we just locked in, played better defensively, better communication on things. And, whenever you're one of the better teams in the country, you're going to have some lulls at times. That's the thing we're trying to fight and to get rid of. We have a lot of talent, and when we finally lock in and stay together and we could put on 60 to 30 runs quickly, and I really think we did a good job defensively and out-rebound those guys, which was key for us. That was one of our keys today.
And we talked about that, you and I, at halftime. This is one of the top rebounding teams in the country. What was your message to those guys? What was, the mentality you wanted your players to have today at the
basically it's about toughness, hitting bodies first. It's got to be a collision. Don't think we totally did that. It's a little hard because they were undersized and a really good rebounding team, and that's because they're very, like I said, very well coached and they're very true to their fundamentals. But our size definitely affected them. Brandon Sinclair came in, a 6'10" guy, and definitely had some bunch of wall-ups and a bunch of rebounds. And our guards got in there, too, to help rebound. That's the other key. If your guards don't rebound, it's hard to win the rebounding war against a legitimate rebounding team.
And you guys, you mentioned after the first question, talking is, a big culture in your guys' team. Sitting behind the bench, I heard really early in the game, you guys were pushing the players to talk more, to be active, especially when you guys were going on defense. Where's that come from? Just communication on the floor is needed for your guys, or is it a bigger thing?
Well, if you don't communicate it defensively, it's hard to be elite. And we're not elite yet defensively, we're just good. So we have another level or two to go to be elite. Like, there were a couple segments in the second half when the second unit was out there playing, with Will and Rashid and Brandon Sinclair, the long guy, and Tawan. We were in gaps, we were stunting, and we need more of that. We have to have more consistency. It can't just be once in a while, and that's a challenging job for me to hold them to that standard. Because most guys want to just score the basketball, and we're trying to break those habits still, and it goes back and forth. It's like this.
And you spoke about trying to spread the ball more before the game. Sure. How did you think you guys did?
We don't get stats here, so I don't know what the numbers are, but I just know that Will scored a bunch of points. Rashid had a hell of a day. Tawan Simpkins did. Joe Manning, who hasn't played a ton lately, he came out of his shell and knocked in some big shots. And Trey Brown played well. I think everyone who played well for stretches. I just want more consistency defensively and rebounding wise, like you said.
You guys were ranked as the #1 team, and you guys fell to your first loss of the season this past Tuesday. What was the message going into the weekend?
Yeah, just we played a really good team yesterday, an elite level team in Florida Southwest, and well coached. Coach Murphy's one of the best coaches, not only in the state of Florida but in the country. They've got some really good athletes. We just had to play harder. We had to bounce back, and I thought we did that. I thought we had the game won in regulation, but then all of a sudden, as I said, they're a great team. They came back and took the lead, and then we responded, and then we got a defensive stop. But in overtime, I think we did a really good job of running our stuff.
Absolutely, and got some overtime experience yesterday, able to come out with the win. How does that feel, knowing your team's been to overtime now and has a little more experience during
We went to overtime with Trinity Valley as well, and we won that game too, and we played a couple of the closer games, but it is good to get those wins because because if we're going to keep proceeding like we think we're going to proceed, there's going to be a lot of close games, especially in the Panhandle Conference, which is the best conference in the country, I still believe.